Hey everyone, and welcome back to the wonderful world of weddings. We are so happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us for all these episodes. We hope that we are bringing some amazing content to you. Today we have another group of incredible guests. And we're going to be talking to Anh and Liz from Renew You Medspa. One thing that I do want to say is right before we get into the show, make sure to check out the New England Wedding Expo. It is coming up on April 16th. Liz and Anh will be joining us at that expo, but we do want to let you know there are 150 free tickets for all guests coming to the show. They are running out very, very quickly. And in terms of vendors, if you are a vendor and you're still looking to get into the show, please note there are very, very few booths left, but we would love to have you go to NewEnglandWeddingExpo.com. It is in Marlborough, Massachusetts on April 16th. Now, let's go ahead and talk to our two wonderful guests today. Thank you two for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, we love being here.
And so Sophie, as everyone may have heard on other episodes, she loves to throw things at me that I know nothing about. I think she actually enjoys it. She sits in the corner and she's like, how can I do this to Dan today? So this is one of those topics. Self-care is something that I joke about with a lot of people because I don't know what that means. And so I do want to start off by just how did you get into the industry? And the big question I always ask for, when two people come in, did you know each other prior? Did you jump in together, or was this a mutual, beneficial relationship? And you're just like, oh, hey, I love this person. Now we're going to do it. Like how did this all occur?
I have been in the medical field now going on almost 20 years. I started off as a nurse, working in the emergency room setting.
Very different than this.
Yes, definitely. And then became a nurse practitioner and still kind of in the emergency urgent care kind of setting, which, been doing for the past, 15 years now as a nurse practitioner. And Liz and I met each other at work, actually. We both worked at an urgent care together, and we just kind of, we got along really well, and we, just decided to embark on this journey together years later.
And the rest is history. That's up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I have to ask you, being in the urgent care emergency room, do you ever have people who are just like, I need Botox now? And you're like, whoa, okay, all right, this is intense. They come in, it's not as urgent.
It's never quite as urgent.
Yeah.
No, it's never.
I just see it in my head. This is how things play out. I see someone rushing in, I need it. You're like, what the hell? I thought we got away from this.
Luckily,
we've
no.
had a couple of instances of that, people calling in and saying, oh, I need this appointment right now. I have, so-and-so event coming up and I need to be ready for this. And so, yeah, and a different aspect. Yeah.
All right. It's like every industry has its own quarrels to it in a way, right? I mean, people are just like, oh, weddings are so stressful. And then they go into, child photography. I was like, how is that any better?
Right.
Explain to me how is that that's easier for you. They're running around saying, I don't want to take my picture. They're throwing their shirts. I'm like,
totally.
No, I would rather be with a bride and groom.
It's all so subjective.
Yes.
I remember being a waitress, and still to this day, after working years in the ER, that is the hardest job I've ever done.
Really?
Being a waitress.
Yes. I think it's also personality too, right? Like some personalities just mesh. And when you find the personality that, or the job for you, it works. Right. Like for me, if I was a bartender. If you ever said, would you rather be, in the emergency room than a bartender? No, I would rather every stress of the bartender, it's just so different.
So different.
So Liz, did you have the same path as Anh as well? Like, just a lot of years in the med space?
Yeah, very similar. Worked years in the emergency department as a PA, and then kind of transitioned to urgent care after I had kids because it was a much better schedule. Yeah. And then that's where we met each other, like she said, and the rest is history.
And so what attracted you to this? Because is it a big jump or is it very similar? I just don't know enough about it. What kind of made that transition for you?
Well, it's not a huge jump.
Okay.
It's still medicine. In fact, it's a small enough jump where our current our employer at the time, the medical employer, paid for us to get the training in,
Oh, wow.
in Botox and filler, because it is medical. You have to have some sort of a medical degree to perform those services.
Sure.
It's not like a regular day spa.
Yep.
So the procedures we do have some risk involved. You need to know the anatomy. You need to know how to fix things if something goes wrong.
And I guess my big thing, just, while we're kind of walking through all of this, is what is the difference? What's the difference between a spa and a med spa and what you guys are applying here? I understand that as far as I can tell from an outside perspective, it's a more chemical based process than it is a, massage style process, right? But how do you explain that to people in let's say layman's terms for some knucklehead like me to understand?
Well, I mean, I think it's all still self-care, like going back to self-care, talking about self-care earlier. And, it's when you go into a spa, like, you want to be taken care of, you want to feel good, you want to come out looking good, whether it's a spa that, to get your hair done or, to get a massage, so it's all about self-care and feeling well and feeling good. So I think that and as far as being in a medical spa, we're still doing self-care and, but we're making people look good, with more kind of invasive procedures. So the procedures are, less more of like a fluff and buff type of thing. Like, it'll make you feel good temporarily while you're at the spa. But once you leave, if you're at a day spa, you don't really look much different or, the results don't last that long. In the medical spa, we're actually doing things, where, it does take a little bit more skill and, whether we're using injectables and doing Botox and dermal filler, we're using needles, and we like to say we're enhancing somebody's face and what they naturally have. But, they just get better. They get results that will last for a longer period of time versus, at a regular kind of day spa.
Okay. And I guess the question becomes, actually, I already answered my own question really. And so that's why a lot of people, even before weddings, and, that's, I think where our paths kind of intertwined here is, before your wedding, and I love what would you say, the buff and fluff?
Buff and fluff, right?
I absolutely love that, the buff and fluff. So, I mean, I've gotten massages done and you're right, they're short term. Now, I didn't put the cucumbers in my eye and have a good time with it. I usually got the deep tissue massage and moved on with my life. But I do understand that is temporary. A lot of the things that you have to do to maintain that afterwards are not done at that spa. And so with the chemical process and I don't even know if that's the right way to put it, but the more medical treatment side of things and that longer effect, do you find people utilizing that for weddings more because they know it's going to last for the week after they get it? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I mean, I think another big difference between the two is that, when you go to a regular spa, you get your nails done, you get a facial, the change in your appearance isn't often permanent or even semi-permanent. It's pretty temporary. So there's always a place for that, and a place for that in wedding prep as well. But it's something you'd want to do closer to the date of your event. Yeah. You get your facial, a week beforehand. But for the procedures we do, for what we offer, you really want to plan ahead for it. And you want to have an idea of where you want to be. A lot of times the things that we do, people don't come in always and say like, I want cheeks today. They come in and they say, I'm just feeling like I look really tired. Like I'm always tired. No matter what I do, I get enough sleep. I just look really tired. I don't want to look like that on my wedding. And so we have a plan for that. We assess their face and of course, assess, their lifestyle and what they're putting into their body too. That's another thing we do is vitamin injections and IV infusions. But if they want to not look tired, it might be a 6-month, 12-month plan that includes maybe some filler and things that they don't even necessarily know about or know what they need.
Well, that's actually a great segue, because I think what we want to do is when we come back from this break, I want to talk about what some of those treatments are specifically. What do you recommend for bride and grooms? And again, kind of go into that process, because I had no clue that it was 6 to 12 months. And that's something that I think anyone should know is if I'm going to commit to this, I should do it well in the preparation of my wedding, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the earlier you can do it, of course, the better. And we know people plan a year and a half, 2 years for their weddings just to get the venue.
Yep.
So when they book that venue, they should be thinking about, how they want to be looking at that wedding.
Right. And so we're going to talk about how you should be looking at your wedding in just a few moments. We're going to get back here after a few commercials, but please, in the meantime, go to newenglandweddingexpo.com and get your tickets today for April 16th in Marlborough, Massachusetts. And we'll be right back with Anh and Liz talking more from Renew You Medspa. Thanks, guys. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the wonderful world of weddings. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have two wonderful guests here. I have Anh and Liz from Renew You Medspa. If you have not been listening, please go back. And it's also IV Bar. I want to keep saying that. I do apologize. I missed that end. Right before we get into it here, though, I do want to let everyone know that we're sponsored by the New England Wedding Expo, and you'll actually be able to meet Anh and Liz right there with us. They're going to be joining us in Marlborough on April 16th. If you are a bride or a groom looking to find your perfect vendor for your wedding and meet with all of our wonderful vendors there, please go on to newenglandweddingexpo.com and get your free tickets today. There are 150 or 50 per wave. But just note that once they're done, the price does go up. And for all you vendors out there, there are just a few spots left. So we want you to jump in now. We'd love to have you there, and we can't wait to see you there. Now, let's get right back into our conversation, because we were actually having a great one. And Liz was starting to tell me everything. And even during the break, he told me some great things. So because I am illiterate in this space, to say the least, I think this is wonderful for so many people to understand what they can do with this. Now, my big question is, I know we were talking about the 6 to 12 months, and I know we were talking about setting up that procedure based off of what you're looking for. But there are terms like Botox, there are terms like microneedling that I don't even know what they mean. And so my big question is, do you recommend based off of what people are looking to do, or is it something where people usually come in and they say, I want Botox? Like, how does that work? Like, what would you recommend for a bride and groom?
A lot of people don't know what they want, or they think they know what they want.
You mean in the world? Because I agree.
Everywhere, I guess.
Everywhere.
But, including me. But
life.
Right. But they'll come in and they'll think they want Botox, and they'll say, yeah, I'm here for Botox. And then you do a consultation with them and you say, well, what is it that bothers you? Or what do you want to get rid of? Or what do you want yourself to look like? Are you looking tired? How you feel? And then once you kind of get to the bottom of it, what their actual needs are, they actually might not need Botox at all. They might need filler, which is a totally different thing. Or they might need facial resurfacing, or, they might need mesotherapy.
Sounds like a boat.
Or, there's a lot of options of things, and there's combinations of things. So you just need to have a consultation with them and kind of look at them and talk to them.
I did resurfacing before.
Oh, yeah?
On a boat.
Oh. It's probably the same thing, I'm sure.
The same thing. Yeah, no, it definitely worked. Fiberglass, the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, totally.
There we go.
Same. Epidermis, fiberglass, same difference.
And chemicals.
I mean, I think what's important too that we try to reiterate to our clients is that when it comes to like aesthetics and medical aesthetics, it's actually a marathon and not a sprint. So if they want a certain result or want to have a goal in mind, we want to, let them know that it may take a process. It's kind of a journey, and there'll be some steps into it. And certainly we do have people who come in who just want the quick fix and that kind of thing, and they know what they want. And sometimes there are things like some of the procedures that we do that are kind of kick in a lot quicker and will give you a nice look, like something like Botox, which is a neuromodulator.
Was that the first one? Because that's the only term I really know.
Yeah.
And so was that the first like market drug that really, or not, I don't know if it's a drug, but whatever it was that came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Botox just turned 20 years old. So 20 years ago, Botox was a thing. And I think that it was one of those things that only the rich got them, only the celebrities got them, and got these treatments. And now it's actually, Botox gets used for many different things, or neuromodulators get. So, you can use neuromodulators for many medical type conditions that they can, it can be a great alternative for migraine treatment.
Really?
You can use neuromodulators for sweating, like excessive sweating,
TMJ.
yeah TMJ. If you have a lot of tension type issues, that you can actually get these
I had no idea it had so many uses.
Really. yeah
No kidding. And so nowadays some of the other products that have come on, such as the microneedling, the injectables, have those offered different side effects, but different benefits? Is that why you're using kind of a sleuth of them to really help a customer out?
Yeah. I mean, so microneedling, just to give you a little background on what that is, just because, you think microneedling, that sounds painful. It's really, I mean, it's just exactly that. It's resurfacing your skin. We use microneedling a lot for skin conditions that you want to, basically resurfacing texture in the skin. Microneedling can be used for acne scarring. It can be used for hyperpigmentation, which is the dark discoloration that can happen with sun damage, or with something called melasma, which is a condition you can get, with hormone changes, like with pregnancy. And you can use, for even surgical scars, to lighten surgical scars and to make them, less pronounced. So basically, we use a device. The device that we use currently is called the Skin Pen, which is an FDA-approved device that's been studied rigorously to be very effective for these type of skin conditions. And it causes little micro punctures in your skin. Basically, you are getting little needles in your skin. When you do that to your skin, it causes your skin to go into kind of an inflammatory, mode, and it starts to produce collagen at a higher rate, because as we get older, we produce less collagen, and collagen is what helps your skin to look young and tight.
So it's activating that collagen.
Exactly. Yeah, so your skin thinks, oh, I'm being traumatized, so then it starts producing the collagen at a faster rate.
So, and that's actually a great place to jump into this timeline conversation here, because the one thing that I thought Botox was very quick. Have you guys ever seen Christmas with the Cranks?
I don't think so.
I think, yeah.
And the reason I do is he gets Botox on his face and he's trying to eat and the food's coming out of his mouth and it's just cracking me up. And that's what I think of. That's like, rudimentary Botox for me, is that image in my head. And so, during our last break, we were talking about the fact that this stuff does take time. It does, to see these results take sometimes weeks, maybe even months. You need time to go ahead and manipulate these things. So in terms of quickness, things like microneedling, I guess for my question, and I know before the break we talked about the 6 to 12 month plan. You come in, and most weddings are, booked 12 to 18 months out. So we can really align all of this in a good way. But my question is, how far out do you have to be? Because you can't go into one of your spas and say, I need this done for tomorrow or for next week, right?
Not that quick. Neuromodulators, the fastest ones kick in about a week. Mm-hmm. So I guess if your wedding was in a week and you said, I just need to have this done, you could get it done and it would kick in by that day. Okay. We like to have people come back, though, after it kicks in so that we can do touch-ups, because sometimes, you don't put quite enough in one area and you want it all to be leveled out and even and perfect before you have an event. So I would say, for that quicker neuromodulator, you really want a minimum of 2 to 4 weeks before the event to have that done so that you are going to have a good result.
And I mean, the rest of them do take more time, correct? Like the microneedling, that would take more time overall. Is that more like a month period, or what type of time frame are you looking at there?
Microneedling, one visit, especially if you use it with PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma, which gives you a better result and kind of shortens your recovery period. It takes a few sessions to really notice an appreciable difference. It takes time for that trauma to kind of ignite the repair cascade and for your body to produce that collagen in the amount where you see a difference. So, that one I probably wouldn't do. I would do a couple sessions, and I would probably start like at least 6 months in advance. Well,
we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're actually going to talk about what we're doing after the wedding with you guys and how we can go ahead and continue this treatment after, even though I know before is important. We got to look our best on that day, but it's good to continue looking your best afterwards as well. So when we get back, guys, we're going to talk with Anh and Liz here about everything you can do post-wedding to keep that beautiful smile and look going for the rest of your life, right?
Yes.
Because God knows your significant other can ruin that every once in a while. All right, guys, we'll be back in just a few. We are here on the Wonderful World of Weddings. My name is Daniel Krikorian, and we hope to see you back here in just a few.
Every step, writing stories that seek to be read, taking hold of the moment as we discover every color filled with wonder. Now we finally see we got everything we need. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Wonderful World of Weddings. My name is Daniel Krikorian. I'm so happy to have you here, and we have two wonderful guests on this show today, and we're talking all about self-care, which, if you've joined us in the past, I know nothing about. So it's a wonderful time to talk with these two. Now, before we get back to the show, go ahead and jump on NewEnglandWeddingExpo.com. Go on April 16th to New England Wedding Expo in Marlborough, Massachusetts. We're going to have these two lovely ladies there from Renew You Medspa and IV Bar in Hudson, Massachusetts. If you are local, definitely go check them out. But if not, when you come up to the expo, you need to say hi, go to their booths. Know that there are 150 free tickets, but they are running out very, very fast for all guests. And for you vendors out there, please know there are just a few left. Now, before the break, I was speaking to Anh and Liz, and we were talking all about what to do before the wedding. That being said, weddings can be stressful. Yeah, we all know it. It's like, and you two were both married. I saw the ring, so you've dealt with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Years ago.
Yeah.
I know I look like I'm 21, but
You're not 20? I thought you were 20. I don't know what to tell you here. Liz, I mean, Jesus, you look like you're 25. What are we doing there? You know?
She's 20, I'm 25. Wait a minute. Whose side are you on?
Can't even take a compliment. See, this is why guys don't say anything anymore.
You're just digging yourself.
Yeah, right. We're just done. So anyways, I'm here with two young ladies, and they are telling me how you remain looking so young after this very stressful day. So I know we talked about 6 to 12 months before the wedding. We're going to go in there. We're going to talk to you all about what we want done, and you're going to essentially prescribe a treatment that would work best for us, right?
Exactly.
Give us some long-term, talk about what you're looking for in terms of benefits, check on it, and maybe make some adjustments here and there to make it perfect, right? Some more long-term. But we just had a stressful day. And during the break, Sophie told me you have a little hangover cure going on here. So what are we doing for them after the wedding?
Yeah.
She's like, God damn, yes, I know.
You know?
A lot.
Sometimes people drink alcohol at weddings.
Yeah.
Do
Just
they
a
now?
little.
Sometimes they drink a little too much.
I had no clue.
So we have all kinds of infusions or drips, you want to call them, that cater to different things. The hangover drip, yes. So that is a very popular concoction of vitamins in a large bag of normal saline. So basically, it's going to replenish. It's got a combination of multivitamin. We have a little bit of an anti-nausea medication in there. And it's going to perk you up and rehydrate you because, when you overindulge, you can get dehydrated. So
Yes.
that doesn't feel good. And so, yes, that we can help you out with that.
I have questions. I have a lot of
Okay.
questions.
I might have answers. Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to admit to anything just yet. Who started this? This is a new thing, right? Because I went to New York this year, and when I was in New York, I was at this very high-class hotel, and they were just like, would you like an IV bar or an IV drip? I'm like, no. Like, what? And so I looked it up, and it's like, oh, all these famous people do it. I'm like, really?
That's the secret.
When
That's
did
the
this?
secret. So it actually kind of goes back to our ER days, right, Liz?
Yeah,
Really?
banana bags.
Banana bags. So we have dealt with a lot of drunks in the ER.
Yeah,
To put it bluntly, yes.
yes, very much.
And so they would come in and they would be super dehydrated. They would be, depleted of all their vitamins.
And that's horrible for your skin, I presume.
It is.
Yes, exactly.
And your liver.
Yes, in your liver. And
Who cares about that? That's inside. We care about surface level here, Liz. What are we doing?
Sorry.
But as nurses and as medical providers, we have to treat these, the patients, get them back on their feet so that we can release them out of the ER because, the ER gets busy.
Yep.
So we call them banana bags because they're yellow. And when you put multivitamins into an infusion or a saline bag, it turns the ingredients in it is yellow. So
That's disgusting.
So yeah. So every time when you walked past a patient with a banana bag, you know why they were there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. And so we've now taken these banana bags and
Yes.
we've made them available to people who have hangovers.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
All right. And is this, I'm assuming this is a very popular treatment.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely more popular in cities, with higher numbers of bars. There's not too many around our area.
Sure.
But there are a few.
Yeah,
And
really.
that's a popular treatment.
I would say, for wedding parties and things like that, this is definitely, a good kind of post-wedding, procedure to get.
Yeah.
Because you would definitely want to replenish all the nutrients you lost through, it was a stressful day. The wedding itself is what, 3-4 hours, but you're going on 12 plus hours on your feet and that kind of thing. So it's very helpful. We have different cocktails that for different things, and we can kind of cater to
Well, the irony is the fact that they're probably not even depleted or dehydrated from the alcohol. Most of them are just depleted and dehydrated because they haven't eaten or drank anything all day
Exactly.
because
Oh
they're
my
just
gosh,
go,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So, I mean, I come in as a photographer most of the time and I'm like, you need to eat. You need to drink something.
Yeah.
And they're like, well,
Yeah.
more photos. I'm like,
Yeah.
no. Like, you're going to pass out on me and I'm not okay with that.
Right.
I mean, my wedding, I was telling Liz, I didn't even eat. Like,
Yeah.
you're so focused on the guests being happy
Right.
and everybody else having a good time, and then you forget to eat, or you're so stressed out, you have no appetite. So I think that, definitely for you brides and grooms, especially you brides, eat something.
Yes.
Make sure you eat.
Yes.
Because you definitely don't want the sugars to drop during your big event, and you know.
Absolutely. Okay. So that's one of them. And that seems like that's one of the most popular in terms of what you would recommend for the post wedding. But is there anything else that people come in after for it? Or is it, I mean, now just into your typical treatment of, your Botox and so forth?
Well, a lot of times, people get that look a lot of times that they want for the wedding. And then after the wedding, there's kind of a little bit of a down period, the honeymoon, and where you should be wearing sunblock if you're going somewhere warm.
Right.
And then, there's plenty of procedures or maintenance treatments that can be done to kind of maintain that look that you work so hard to get.
Right. And so do you usually tell them to come back and like keep kind of scheduling with you even afterwards?
Yeah. I mean, we recommend it. There's plenty of things, within the couple weeks following the honeymoon and the wedding that you could do to kind of quell the inflammation going on in your skin.
What are some of those tips? What would you recommend to make sure that it stays, lasting for as long as it can?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, you need to be on a good daily regimen in terms of products and, what you're using to wash your face, what you're using to help with antioxidants and the pollutants that you're encountering all day long, the free radical damage and, the sunblocks. And, it starts there, and that's just the very basic level. But then, facials, especially if you're acne prone or the stress of the wedding, made you have a few breakouts, you can have specific facials that kind of target that and help, calm your skin down.
And, for brides and grooms going into their big day too, just to jump back on that, what are those tips outside of the medical treatment that you recommend, if they're doing the medical treatment with you? Is there any additional tips such as specific, moisturizers or things of that nature? Yeah. What would you recommend?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first and foremost, it's important to have the at-home skincare routines in place.
So I shouldn't use a bar of soap?
No, the bar of soap that you use on your body should not be used
Irish
on your
Spring?
face.
Yeah, no Irish Spring?
No, you definitely want to use a premium product because if you want something to change your skin, a high quality premium product, medical grade preferably, is what you need. And you need to wash your face twice a day. Wash your face twice a day. Make sure that you're using the premium products on your face, moisturizer, and you need to wear sunscreen all the time. Winter, fall, summer,
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
all the time. Anytime when you leave the house. Because you're constantly, your skin, that sun exposure is over time. If you can do this prevention now when you're in your 20s at the age when you're getting married and all that, then you won't have to come to us.
Stop it on. We need that. We need business for you. Did no one tell you how to sell?
But no, prevention is key. And
Sure.
I think, going back to your question about Botox, a lot of, clients are in their 20s are getting it because it actually, if you're not moving those muscles, you don't create the wrinkles. So they're doing Botox as a preventative, which works really well as a wrinkle, prevention. So I think that, first and foremost, really good home skincare routine and regimen. and keeping up with that. Then after the wedding, coming and getting your facials. We have, an amazing esthetician at our place, and she's very knowledgeable with skincare. But we also have, more. We have something called the Diamond Glow, which is a microdermabrasion infusion type of facial, and you can do that. It's a kind of hyper exfoliates and extracts from your pores and infuses like a nourishing serum into your skin. So it will give you that amazing glow for a couple of days, but it's a great one to do kind of on a maintenance, once a month, once every 2 weeks. And, that's all part of the self-care. You're going to the gym, you're, going to get your hair done. Like you also should be taking care of your skin and doing those things too.
So I'm going to exfoliate more information from you in just a second, but did that work? I don't think so, but it was funny.
Extract.
It was in my head the whole time. All right. So we're going to jump back here in just a few seconds, guys. So for all of you joining us and joining Ann and Liz here, we're going to be back in just a few on the wonderful world of weddings. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you in just a few. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the wonderful world of weddings. We are so happy to have you here. Before I get back to our conversation, I do want to let you know that this show is also brought to you by Be Remembered. If you are looking to book any services for your wedding day, please go to BeRememberedWeddings.com. From photography, videography, event planning, DJ, coordination, makeup, and more, everything is on BeRememberedWeddings.com. We are happy to take care of you at all times and want to make your day a wonderful wedding experience. So check them out. But now we're going to jump right back in. We were actually getting some great information right before the break, and I had to cut you guys off, and I said some stupid lines. So you know what? You can go back and listen to that if you want to hear it. If you don't, we're just going to continue trying to extract information because that sounds like an interrogation. We're trying not to interrogate here, but we're having a good time. So we were giving some tips and tricks here for everyone, talking about self-care, talking about making sure that your skin is paid attention to like everything else in your body. And the one thing that I was always taught, so when I was an athlete in college and in high school, dehydration was always the main concern, making sure you had enough, making sure you were eating right to perform. But your skin gets affected in a major way from it. We were talking about this with the IV bags and the banana bags and how they, the hangover cures, how they all kind of contribute to this on a stressful wedding day. But, I guess my question, because we're talking about treatment, and when you go and you get these facials, sure, they feel good. Are they, how does the impact work? I guess I've always been curious, like just rubbing someone's face, like what does that even do? I don't understand it. Do you
Well, I guess it depends on the facial, because some facials are more
useless
treatment based,
okay.
Where, the esthetician is actually going in, extracting this stuff out of your pores, treating acne, and, maybe using a blade to take off the top layer of your skin, like the dull, dried out, flaky top layer of your skin. Or, some people want that facial massage and, like Ann said, the fluff and buff where, you might come out looking and feeling super relaxed and moisturized, but it may not change your look, where the next couple of days you look in the mirror, you're probably going to look the same, but you'll feel good.
Yeah. I mean, it's all that matters sometimes, right?
Right.
Yes.
Until you go, oh shoot, I needed something a little bit more permanent, right?
More, yeah.
And they come find you.
Yeah.
So I think, Ann, you're doing a great job at explaining some of these processes and procedures here and what they're doing. Are there any other procedures that you guys, and again, I told you this before we even started to talk. I went on your site, and these words, they meant kind of nothing to me except for Botox, which has been around for so long, and my brain goes to a stupid Christmas movie that has a guy with Botox. So some of these other procedures that you guys might be doing or offering, Are there any other major ones that people just don't even know what they mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like all of them.
I mean, yeah. We actually have a new service that we just started to offer, and it's a device called the Neogen. So Neogen uses something called plasma nitrogen. So it's a gas, and it causes basically thermal energy. It uses a thermal energy to kind of stimulate your skin to regenerate. So it's great. It's great to be used for kind of resurfacing. We kind of refer to it as a non-surgical facelift because people who are getting these treatments actually look like they've gotten a facelift without actually having to go under the knife. So, because it tightens the skin over time. So it because of the thermal energy that it uses, it, again, going back to the collagen production, it triggers that collagen to produce at a very, very fast rate, higher than what your body is producing, depending on how old you are, what's going on in your lifestyle. And so those treatments are kind of, if you want to change your skin and, get it to regenerate, resurface, this is what I would recommend. We love this device specifically just because a lot of these type of devices, there's a downtime to the procedure, right? And some of the similar devices out there, downtime can be weeks, like your face is red and it's, swollen. With this Neogen, the downtime is typically about, maybe 2 or 3 days of redness and swelling. We do recommend a specific treatment that we have clients do after the procedure where they would be using some products on their skin so it does, kind of stay on the skin for a few days to protect it. So they have a little bit kind of like a greasy look for a few days. And but generally, within a week, you're back to normal. So, and that's what we love about it. Specifically, I think, too, this is one of the few devices you can actually use around your eyes. Very safe to use around eyes. We actually got the treatments ourselves because if we're offering something, we want to make sure that we believe in it, that it's safe, and that it's been studied. And Liz, had a great result with her treatment, around the eyes.
Really?
That's why you thought I was 25, basically.
Okay.
It's all
Yes,
Neogen.
yes. Very nice, very nice.
But yeah, it's almost, I don't know if you've ever heard of the term blepharoplasty, where somebody has too much skin on their eyelids, so they have to get that skin removed surgically. And so with the Neogen, it actually, because it tightens the skin so well and lifts it up, it's almost like a non-surgical, bleph, we call it.
How new is that technology? Is it recent?
No, it's been around for a long time.
Really?
Actually, mostly in the European countries, the UK.
That's why it looks so damn young.
Yes.
The Asian
Americans just look
countries,
tired.
yes,
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's just our genes." It's like, "No, you little bastards.
Yeah.
It's
They
actually
got
this."
the Neogen.
But yes, and then, came to the United States, about 10, 15 years ago. And so there's a lot of different devices similar to that in the market, but we decide on this devices. We just love the results that we see and the safety and it's really not painful and the low downtime.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, and again, I think there's so many products out there, you just have no clue what they do, right? Yeah. And so for me, I look at them and I'm like, that looks like gibberish, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I think it's huge for people to just understand these things, right? And understand, I mean, the fact that it's, you can do all of this with minimal pain, minimal work, I really, again, I think my head just keeps going back to the Botox because that's all I knew for so long.
Yeah.
Dan, you can have some Botox.
I've been waiting to say that. You stole it from me. What I was going to mention is all of these things that we've been talking about, everybody is probably thinking for women, But all of these things can be used for men as well.
You don't like my face the way it is?
No, you look 25.
How does that feel? Is it annoying? No.
But really, like we have done the Neogen on a few men, and
It won't mess up the beard?
No, we have them shave it because it'll burn it off. But
Will it really?
yeah, you have to. I mean, not
hilarious.
permanently, but you shave it beforehand. But we've had incredible results. For men.
Botox. That works, huh?
Botox is the Botox for the men. Yes, it works great. Yeah. We do free consultation.
All right. Well, all right. How many guys actually do this? I just need to know.
Quite more than you'd probably think.
Yeah. I actually thought of Botox for men because that was in this movie. He gets it. So I don't know. I mean, I really didn't think of it as a gender thing, but I guess a lot of women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely more women than men.
Is it? Yeah.
But a lot of men get these, treatments or facials and different procedures. They probably just aren't talking about it.
Right.
Right.
The
They're not going around.
Yeah.
They're not going around telling their buddies at the bar. No. Okay.
Tom Brady, he's doing it. Trust me.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you think?
he's doing a lot.
I think
him
Giselle
and
convinced him.
Giselle.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they always like to say too. Is my
right.
wife is making me do this. Oh, you're doing it because you want to look good. You're doing it.
He does look younger. I got to admit it. He looks
you
better.
Look at before and afters, he looks so much better now.
I don't think it's this little green drink he drinks every morning. No.
I'm sure that helps a little.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. Well, before we close out the show, I do want to let everyone know where to find you. So should they go online? Should they call? Where's the place? Tell us all the details, all the dirty details.
Yeah. We have all the information on our website is Renew You Medspa, MA.com. You can book appointments there. You can find out all about our different services that we offer.
And they're booking a consultation first, right? Typically?
Sure. Yeah. We do free consultations.
Okay.
So we're happy to block off a half an hour of time to talk to you about what your aesthetic goals are. And but we also have, if you want a specific service like a B12 shot or, a specific IV infusion, you can go ahead and just book that right on our website.
Wonderful.
And you can also call us at 978-310-1511.
And go to Hudson, Mass for everything, right?
Yes.
Right down in
We're
Hudson,
located inside the landing at the Hudson Mills.
Very
Amazing
nice.
building, mill building.
Yep.
We actually just built our space, and we just moved there 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Awesome.
I mean, we've been functioning for the past couple of years, but this is, was a new build for us. And so come check out our space. We love it. And everybody who comes there feels, our idea is, our goal is to make you feel comfortable coming in and want, to stay there and get your treatment.
And it smells really good.
Does.
Magnolia candles.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Goddamn Magnolia. All right, everyone. Well, I will ask everyone listening, if you are as clueless as I am about any of these topics or about this topic in specific, med spa and IV bar, please go onto our website at berememberedweddings.com/podcast. Submit all of your questions. I will bring these two wonderful ladies back on. We'll answer them all together, or just reach out to them because God knows I can't answer your questions. But I will make it funny in the process as I ask them. So thank you two so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
I have learned probably too much about this subject, but that's okay.
Never too much.
Never too much?
No.
They'll let me know. But thank you too. Thank you, Anh. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
And thank you all of you for watching. We can't wait to have you back here on the wonderful world of weddings. My name is Daniel, and we will see you next week for another episode. Thanks, guys.